Good morning. What a beautiful winter day it is today, and we're privileged to be in the offices of our finest Mayor of Provo, Mayor Michelle Kaufusi. Mayor Kaufusi has a reputation of getting things done, of building, and not just buildings, but she's also a builder of people. And we're here today to talk a little bit about that spirit of her administration for being a builder. And in fact, this was evidenced last night at your State of the City presentation that you gave, which was fabulous. And one of the themes that came from that, of the many, was the idea that this is an exceptional place to live. In fact, I think that's part of your mission statement.
It's our new mission statement. We threw it out last night. Exceptional care for an exceptional community, because that's how we feel. We feel like our job is to take care of the citizens in Provo, but not just basic average. The expectation from me is it's got to be exceptional.
Yeah. What makes it exceptional for the business community? Of course, we represent, as I sit here, the Chamber of Commerce and their businesses all in the Valley.
We are here for the businesses, and I often say we are open for business. We want you, we want to support you, we want to lift you. We are a partner in business. It's a huge role I play as mayor, is being open to help, to make life easier for them and to encourage them to grow and to stay and invite others. That's one component of the economic development piece, which is one of my 4 pillars because it's that important to me.
The economy is one of your 4. What are the other 3?
So welcoming, economically vibrant, safe and sound, and then forward-looking, because we're constantly looking, what are we doing today that 30 years from now we'll be glad we did it?
Yeah. It's one of the things I love about you. You think big.
Yeah, we got to think big.
But you come from a very sort of humble beginnings.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you were born and raised in this area, right?
Born and raised.
In Provo.
Born into a little home. I can see it if I look over the balcony, a little 2.5 bedroom, 7 kids, a 1 bathroom. It was... Yeah, I was the free and reduced lunch kid in Provo. Yeah. So a single mom, an alcoholic, and there was a lot of issues in the home. And the fact that this community really stepped up and really embraced us, because we were not the norm. I always say, I thought everyone had a dad, and I thought everyone's dad was this perfect dad, and they all worked for BYU or were a doctor, because that's what it looked like to me. Yeah. And I was the only one that kind of was from this little troubled situation. But I'll tell you what, this community, they introduced me to the idea of going to college and this, you can do anything. And they knew that I had 1 pair of shoes, and they would say things like, why don't you come over and sweep my back porch and then give me $10? Who does that? But this community just embraced me, and because they knew we were struggling, and they really lifted us.
How many places in America are you aware of that you can live, work, learn, and play within 60 minutes of probably the best recreation, the best business environment? I mean, we could probably pinch ourselves, right?
It feels that way, doesn't it?
But it didn't just happen. I mean, it's not something that just fell from the sky. And also, I believe that you have been mayor-like before you were mayor. In fact, it's kind of in your DNA. It's to be a leader of people. It's to build, as I said earlier, to build those that are around you. But who've been some of your mentors along the way that have and maybe those today that still guide you, that you lean in on when you've got a big decision to make? Who do you consult with? And who, if you would mention them by name, that would be great, but you don't have to. I just wonder what are some of the values and the principles that they have instilled in you to help you be probably one of the finest mayors in America? I know that you're in demand. If you could get Mayor Kaufusi on your board, you'd be lucky. I bet you have to say no more than you ever thought you would.
I think we did a count. Right now I'm sitting on, I think it's well over 30-something boards.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And yet in my mind, I just think, I just want to be at my office working with my team and doing amazing things for Provo.
Yeah.
But you have to fulfill these other positions because it all positions Provo. So it's good. But mentors, I'm trying to think.
Because that culture has to be it's something that marinates, and it's in a collection of experiences and people. I mean, we mentioned a few that were that presented at your State of the City last night. You've got Chad Linebaugh at Sundance.
Yes.
You've got Bill Holterstrom. You've got our new president. We've got 5 universities that you're partners with.
Can you believe that?
Right. So you've got.
It's amazing.
Yeah. But who are some of your go-to people when you need great advice?
Great advice. I think when I reflect on feeling like, do I take this on? Do I take on this idea of a new public safety building when everyone I've called that holds an elected office has told me not to?
Right.
I'll never win an elected seat, and me sitting on my couch and crying and then thinking I didn't get in this job to get reelected. I got in this job to do the right thing. I think that ingrained, I don't know if it's a genetic thing, but hard work doesn't scare me. My life's not been easy.
Yeah,
it's been a little bit scrappy.
Yeah.
And so I don't get intimidated by big projects and being told no. In fact, almost when people tell me no, I just think now we're really going to try harder.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I think a lot of that comes from my mother. I mean, she had 7 kids and was a single mom and had to work the graveyard shift at Utah Valley Hospital, 7 to 7, and she worked. I mean, she died when I was fairly young, but we all just agree she worked herself to death on our behalves. Yeah. And she was tough and strict and wasn't afraid to really put us in our place, which we needed because we were, probably 7 rotten kids. Anyways, she is definitely someone I fall back on when it comes to going against the odds.
Yeah. If you have a foot in the legacy of this region, especially of this city, this is part of your DNA. But you also are in a role where you are forward-looking and forward-thinking, and that has to be a big part of what you wake up about. Thinking about when the feet hit the floor. Does growth intimidate you?
Growth is exciting to me. Growth is something that we have the opportunity to get ahead of right now. And we're getting our airport and we're getting our streets fixed and we're managing things, because the worst thing we could do is sit on our hands and say, I don't want anything to change. Change is coming. Yeah. So let's just protect our strong neighborhoods, because the folks there aren't fans of growth, aren't fans of the changes, right? But let's protect them because they deserve that. But in the meantime, let's do smart growth and let's put the growth where it belongs, centralized in downtown by our active transportation. That's where density should be. I just think the growth's exciting.
Well, and it's evidenced by those businesses and other partners that are saying Provo's kind of where we grew up as a startup, or this is where we grew up as a family. We're going to give back to this community. Give us some examples of some of those entities, businesses or otherwise, that have said, we're staying here in Provo. We're going to keep our roots here. We're going to grow here. We may have to grow taller, but we're going to keep our foundation here.
Well, right out of the gate, I mean, there's 2 that are the big heavy hitters. I'll start first with New Skin, that started here in downtown Provo and is here to stay. And the folks that started it all live here, and they have a love for Provo, and we love that they love Provo. And then we'll just move right on to our $8 billion company, Qualtrics. They'll never leave us. They born and raised here, started it in a garage on Grandview Hill, and it's worth $8 billion, and they're here to stay. In fact, not only are they here to stay, they're such a great community partner, just like New Skin, that we're constantly collaborating of, all right, what else can we bring to the city to help make Provo even better? So there's some great things to be looking forward to. There's something about Provo. And if you weren't born and raised here, you still can fall in love with it and love it. But there's this attachment to it that's really hard to describe. It was so good to me that you can't help but want to give back so that others get that same experience.
From you and your people, that authenticity is the best approach when garnering support for an idea, a new park, a new building, and you're transforming lives as well as the skyline. Projects, before I get into my last piece, projects that you're proud of, that some of them have all of your 10 digits on, and some of them just a few. But
Yeah.
but what are some of the other projects that you've been proud of, that you've been a part of?
Well, we're really excited. It's our new city hall and our airport, our big regional sports park out there that we'll be hopefully cutting the ribbon on in about a year. It is, like I said, a regional sports park. I was a soccer mom. I drove to St. George for icebreakers. I drove to Las Vegas, a suburban of girls in California. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that anymore.
Right.
We're going to keep that money in the county. Yeah. So 21 soccer fields. We had the BYU soccer coaches and lacrosse coaches help us design it. It can host college level tournaments, including huge regional, national tournaments, and that'll be a huge impact, the economic impact. We need those dollars in Provo. Yeah. There's a lot. My mind is spinning. Our aquifer recharge program that's so unique. So we feel really lucky. We live at the base of these beautiful mountains that has this pristine aquifer underneath it. Yeah. So we have this beautiful Provo River coming down that goes to Utah Lake, where I believe it's well over 70% of the water evaporates. Utah Lake's a wide, flat lake. The sun hits it, it evaporates. Right. So we have our water rights, and we've decided, what if we grab our water, pump it back up to the canyon, and push it down into our aquifer? Then we can pull it out anytime we need it, and it's pure and pristine. And instead of just letting our water rights go down and evaporate, we're saving the water. We literally, for decades and decades to come, there will never be a problem with water for the citizens of Provo. The beauty of this is aquifers don't know boundaries. Right, so as we're shoving the water down, we're helping Orem, we're helping Springville, we're helping all these folks. We landed a $50 million FEMA grant for that project. So we're well underway on that one as well.
What one secret do you think, this is our final question, do you think is the secret sauce to Provo that you wish more people knew?
Easy.
Yeah.
It's the people.
Yeah.
It is the people.
Yeah.
We really do. We know our neighbors. We care about our neighbors. I check my 3 widows every time I'm backing out of the driveway. If their garbage isn't brought in, I'll text and say, someone go get Sister Jackson's garbage. Or, I mean, we really do care about who is next door. And you live in other communities, and they can live there for years and never know who their neighbor is. But in Provo, we know. And I feel like we take a little bit, we're number 1 for volunteerism in the country. Right. And that has a lot to do with our culture, with our university that's here. But that just is what's so great about us. It just bubbles out into the community, and it's such a unique place. I've been able to, through this lovely experience, I've been able to experience other places and other mayors and other cities, and I have yet to see, even just outside of Provo, this really love and compassion and this pride of, we are proud of where we're from. Yeah. Wow. And that's my whole goal. Just let's build on it so that my kids and their kids are all going to still have that instilled in them.
Yeah. Well, this is something that is so authentic about your approach to being mayor, being a citizen, being a mom, is that you can feel that genuine care about people, about those around you, even to a staff of more than just the 5 that you raised. You said 1,400.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the hallmarks of leadership, quite frankly, and I feel that you encapsulate that so well. We're lucky to have you as mayor at this time, at such crossroads for Provo and for the state of Utah. And I believe leadership begins with authenticity, begins with exceptional care. And your mission statement again?
Exceptional care for an exceptional community.
Yeah. And we're really privileged that she lives that, and that is a part of the culture and the feeling of this city. And you can walk the halls and know that that's a big part of their experience here, whether you're an employee, a citizen, or a business. We're grateful to have had you on our chamber chat today.
Thank you.
We look forward to our next time. In the meantime, consider ways that you can contribute and jump in to help this fine mayor, one of the finest mayors in America, achieve her goals to making this one of the best places to live, work, learn, and play. Until next time, Michelle, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, a pleasure. Appreciate
Love
your time.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.